The personal lives of the likes of Colleen Rooney, Rebecca Vardy, of course, Victoria Beckham, been making headlines for years. But what is life really like as a footballer's wife, a high-profile one? Well, a new reality series is taking us right behind the scenes.
Lights, camera, action.
It's not always as glamorous as everyone thinks it is.
Riyadh rang me and basically told me that we're moving to Saudi. I'm going to be sat at home on my own.
It's part of the game, innit?
You're not going to propose to me today, are you?
No.
My biggest thing is just making sure I don't go into labour. I want him to be there. This is the life.
It is. And two of the stars are married to the game. Taylor Ward and Kat Harding join me now. It's lovely to see both of you. It really is. We get such an insight into what goes on. Kat, you weren't too sure about this at the start, were you? When you were first approached, you were like, oh, you had a few concerns.
Yeah, I was slightly worried. I didn't want to be kind of on a show that was going to be creating drama and problems between someone else. Like, I've never met Taylor, and, you know, to have... Like, I didn't want them to, like, set up something where we'd have to have some sort of...
Like the housewives, a wee bit like that.
Some
no, I
things
understand.
That, you know,
yes,
so
yes.
I was a little bit... And also to let the cameras into your private life and obviously personal life. It's really... Yeah, so I wasn't sure at first. And then I was like, oh, you know what, why not? Let's do it. We can show things how they really are. And, and then Jay was...
Because we've all got an idea of what goes on. And I think a lot of people think you just sort of sashay around with designer handbags and go to posh champagne-fueled lunches, whatever they are. But you don't.
No, it's definitely not half as glamorous, I think, as people think it is. Like, for me personally, like, day-to-day life is just really running around with the kids, trying to make sure everything's OK with, you know, with Jay, with work, with all sorts of stuff, and trying to balance and juggle everything like every other woman.
No, I understand. And Taylor, I mean, one thing that really struck me watching it was you've sort of got your life and you're getting everything sorted out. You know, you were saying about the kids and all of that, and the schools and all of that, and your friends. And then it can just turn because you're told, actually, I've just signed up with a team and we're moving to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you
and
get
you're
absolutely
like,
no warning.
You know,
No
you have
warning.
to pack up and just go.
Well, that's obviously what happened to me. Yeah, I think that's probably one of the hardest parts is, like, I literally had a full 2-year plan of how the next 2 years was going to be. Riyadh still had 2 years left on his contract, so it was definitely, like, something that wasn't within our 2-year plan.
Sure.
And then we were actually on holiday at the time, and then he just rang me and said, we're going. And
that's it.
I was like, am I hearing you OK? Like, what? Sorry?
He's been sold. Like, as if he's I don't know, like a packet of washing powder or something like that. And then you have to go. But that's a big deal, you know, when you have to move somewhere, because you've got to start all over again.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I would imagine it can be quite lonely, you know, when you first go, especially a country like Saudi Arabia. That's a total culture shock and change.
Yeah, it's different. But, yeah, I think I've definitely warmed to it, and it's actually been a nice experience. You see me crying on the show, because I think in that moment, it's just such a shock, and, like, you're human at the end of the day, and, like, I was very apprehensive to start with, and I think even I just set up a business with my sister, and I was like, how's this going to work? It's still a new business. Just so many things that, like, just go through your head all at the same time, and you're like, you don't even have, exactly, no say over it, and you have literally no time to, like, process the news. Before you know it, you're literally on a flight out there without anything sorted, no house. We're still living in a hotel.
We had similar when we had to move to Arsenal, but obviously it wasn't like the same as you having to move country yet. But it was like
it might still be
2 days. Yeah, never know. But 2 days, and it was like. You had to move, but you just never know where you're going to be from one season to the next.
Because the thing is, Kat, you do build your life. You see that in the series. Your life does revolve round what your husbands are doing. You know what the men in your life are doing, and you've got to accommodate that as well as everything else, as well as being women. You know, your business women in your own right,
and trying to do your own thing. And it's quite hard to juggle that, because I think a lot of people
juggling
say,
lots.
They don't do anything, but actually it's really hard to try and
work
your career and kids around.
Same with my business. Yeah, when you've literally just set something up and you have a full plan, and then before you know it, it's literally pulled from under you, and it's like, actually, No, that's not how it's going to be.
I think as well, we all think you're all in some sort of club and you
Yeah.
all see each other. But you two haven't actually, today is
Not
you.
the first
time we've met, yeah.
And it's been brilliant because you've got so much in common.
Yeah.
You know, not just the fact that obviously you're married to footballers, footballers are your partners, but that you have done the show. So you've got so much to talk about, which is lovely.
I feel like I know your life now. Which is
Yeah, I know. I
hilarious.
feel like the same. I know so much about you the first time we've met.
Yeah.
And what did the guys think? Were they quite behind you in this? Were they like all for it? Or were they a little bit apprehensive?
I don't know about you. Yeah, Riyadh was, to start with, he was like very supportive of me doing it. He was like, absolutely, it's your career. I'm really happy for you. But he was very much like, that's your thing, not mine.
Yeah,
But
it was a little bit the same.
Yeah.
He was a bit apprehensive and unsure about having cameras coming in, and he's a little
Yeah.
bit more private and things.
Same
so
with Riyadh. He's like, even though he's obviously a lot more in the public eye than I am,
Yeah.
he's actually
For
way
now.
more, until I came on scene.
For now, that's
And-
so no regrets
Yeah.
about doing it at all. It's been
No,
it's
I
been
thought it was,
positive
like,
experience.
Yeah, really
Yeah, it's
great.
everyone's been really lovely. I've had some really nice messages, and I think they do a really good job of showing the both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, there
I
is
felt
nice
like that
things, and
too.
there's also like moments that aren't as easy. And I think they got the balance really well, and it was nice.
Yeah, that's true. I think that you've got. Obviously, they have these really glamorous moments, and we do have like certain privileges. But then it showed that side and the harder side of it. So I
definitely.
think they did it really well.
And that's important as well. It is important for people to see that. I mean, you know, of course, it's a lovely life. You know, you've got great relationships. You know, that it's good. You know, it is very, very good by and large. But there are these things of. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I got a call just to say, by the way, you're moving to
Next week,
Mongolia,
yeah.
we're paying for, you know, and off you go, and you've just got to scoop up the children and scoop up everything,
Yeah.
and off you go. Very resilient women, very resilient women. It's great to
thank
see
you.
both of you. I really enjoyed the series. You can see Taylor and Kat and Married to the Game. It's on Prime Video.
Yeah.
Right now, it's a real insight. Thank you both for coming in.
Thank
You've made
you.
new pals. I love that.
I know.
It's really good. Right.